week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jacob.
Explain to me where the Joker fits into this. Like not the Heath Ledger Joker, which is arguably the best. Not the Mark Hamill, which is obviously
arguably the best
animated. Where does this Joaquin Phoenix Joker fit into all this?
Look at this right here.
You know what I don't like? I don't like how off center you are right now. Okay, stop leaning. Okay.
Dude,
now I'm off center. Now I've got to sit all the way over here if I want to be center. You know.
Well,
here we go. It's fine. I really don't care.
Here we go. How about this? I don't know. It's just the way that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm gonna fix it in post. But explain to me.
First of all, Mark Hamill is the greatest iteration. Heath Ledger.
Sure.
No. Period. Just period. All encompassing. The greatest live action, which would be a sub-tier. You could do Heath Ledger.
Okay. I guess.
So I don't know, dude. That movie is.
It was cool, suspenseful, whatever, but it's like.
It was a hard watch. It's one of those movies where like you watch one time and you never want to watch it again. And we're so far removed from like what Joker is, what Joker represents, like the character itself, that like no one gives a shit. No one asked for the fucking sequel to this movie. Like you're just like using the names Joker and like Harley.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't understand. Like where it fits into the zeitgeist of like it doesn't, because Batman's not in it.
It's an art piece. It's an art. It's like
because it's like Batman without Joker is fine because Batman is the main hero. But it's like Joker without Batman.
I mean, there's several stories that revolve around the Joker. I mean, it's
But this kind of Joker is what I'm saying, like the art piece where it's like, is he a part of like the Batman universe? Like, I think does Batman show up at all? Like, I don't even know. I haven't ever seen the
Batman
movie.
Doesn't even exist in this universe, from what I understand.
And like, I'm sorry, it's dumb. I apologize.
Yeah.
Is everybody out there?
There's no reason to apologize. Fuck it. Like, it's a waste of time.
But anyways,
the thing about the Joker is like, obviously. That's Batman's like number one villain, and as much, I mean, I love Batman and I like the Joker, but I do get a bit like every time somebody takes over Batman, it's like you're inevitably going to get the Joker, because it seems to be every writer's like wet dream when they write Batman to give their iteration of the Joker.
They have their own Joker. Yeah,
I do get it, but I'm kind of just like, I get a little tired of Joker stories the same way that like I get tired of Loki stories and like all the Thor comics, because it's like, I get it, and it's that's what happens when you have like this super arch nemesis. Like they're always going to show up. I think there are many more interesting rogues that deserve a spotlight. I actually think that if you sit down and look at every character's iteration, I think Harvey Dent is a better like arch nemesis to Bruce Wayne and Batman, because you have Harvey Dent, Two-Face.
Oh, okay. I was Batman. Like, for some reason, I was thinking Harvey Dent was like the cop that he likes.
Harvey Bullock? Well, that's Jim Gordon.
Jim Gordon. There we go. Yeah. I don't know. I was confusing the two. I was like, I didn't realize. I guess he could be he's like secretly working behind the scenes to take Batman down. But
it's the sort of, they are the antithesis of each other, right? So like, Batman's alter ego is Bruce Wayne, but then you have like, Harvey, who's this good guy, and the bad thing happens to him, and then he has the split personality sort of thing. Your only real experience is the movie, Dark Knight, the movie, right? But like, Harvey's a really good character in itself. But anyways, not to be
that face 5 is gross, minutes of
well, it's supposed to be grotesque.
It's gross. He's a gross guy. Get him out of here,
No, man, lean into that shit. Like that's what I want. Like lean into it. Like give me, like honestly, if so, obviously the Batman sequel is going to come out, with Pattinson.
He's good. He's honestly,
We
arguably,
got
the best Batman.
Riddler, and like there was a little bit too much Joker in that Riddler,
Yeah, it did feel like they kind of mashed him up, but at the same time, it's like.
But then the Joker shows up at the end.
I feel like it was more so. They wanted the Riddler to seem kind of crazy because they were going with a specific edge to him or whatnot, and it's like he just ended up bleeding into Joker a little bit. But
it was my least favorite part of the movie, especially like the back half.
No.
That's the only part. Like we talked about it when it came out.
I don't care what people say. I thought it was fucking great. I loved it.
But I honestly, there's a couple of directions I would like to see it. Obviously, the Penguin comes out this month, so I'm very curious. And like, there's a whole thing where they're like, Pattinson's Batman's not in it, and I think it's very carefully worded. I think either Bruce Wayne shows up or Batman shows up, but it's not. Obviously, it's not Pattinson. Somebody else in the suit, sort of deal. Or you see like the cowl. You see like the like a shot from the back where you see the it's so like. I would be surprised if Batman doesn't show up at some point.
Like, maybe it takes place before.
No, it's after. They've already confirmed it's after.
Okay. Well, shit,
it's after the events of the first
I was thinking maybe it was like setting up like who Penguin was whenever you get to him in the Bat.
No, it's setting up who he's going to become.
He's going to team up with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're going to it's Mr. Freeze,
Hey, freeze. But anyways, like, I would love to see a live action like Clayface and like really lean into the like grossness, practical effects, weirdness of that, Obviously I'm very close to the like Court of Owls, and like I love that story. It's something that would have to be,
give me more
drop little hints here and there. I don't think you could just like straight up introduce that, but
give me more rated R stuff. Give me more like gross things, Like
lean into some of the
maybe not slasher. I don't like slasher films. I think they're boring and lazy. And it's like, oh, cool, you're gonna chop this person's head off in 100 different ways. And it's like, if all you're going with is like I have to be scared of this guy because he hacks and slashes, it's like I'm just gonna fucking leave the room. I'm gonna see you later, buddy. Sorry, I don't want to stop here.
There's no suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, and it's just like it's very much so like, hey, I'm gonna call the authorities. Actually, this is not good what you're doing here. I don't like this. Leatherface. I see what you got. The whole face made of skin thing. I'm actually gonna go down the road and I'm gonna get the authorities. I'm gonna come back here. So,
depending on where you're at, the authorities may not want to deal with that.
They may be part of it. Who knows?
They may not want their. No, bro. Like I can't be seen at the crime scene.
This looks like a lot. This looks
like a lot.
It's a lot of paperwork.
I'm gonna go work the football game.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, ironically enough,
probably more dangerous than being in the room with Leatherface. But hey, whoa. Not to get political.
There was an article that came out, I guess it was a couple of days ago, right? NPR, where there is a face recognition technology that they want to use.
It's apparently already implemented currently because you could buy. Apparently, it was like a whole thing where you could buy tickets and use this app that like allows you to like basically just take a selfie, and then when you show up at the stadium, you don't have to have your tickets. You just show them your face, and it's like, oh, okay. And apparently they already use it for other employees, but this time it was like getting kicked back. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off and bury the lead. The whole caveat this time is they were like, hey guys, the cops, hey guys, if you're gonna be here, you got to be a part of this program. They were like, that's fucking a huge invasion of our,
yeah, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Like that's a huge invasion of somebody's privacy, and you're kind of like asking for this information, but who's gonna get this information? Like where's this information going? And it's just like the
thing is they should just comply. Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you just? Why you got nothing to hide? Just comply. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like you've got. What do you need privacy for if you're not doing anything wrong? Right.
Yeah.
It's clearly there's something going on.
You're there to protect and serve.
Yeah. So protect me by letting me know who you are. But I just like the irony when I was reading this article about
the irony of it being in Vegas too.
In Vegas, and being the cops saying this is a huge invasion of privacy. We don't know who they're giving this information to. Like it's like they could be giving it to their brother or sister down the road, and it's just like, oh, you mean like all the times that you go to like Ring or Apple and you're like trying to get that information, you know, like, you know, even though it's private information, you're like, no, let us have it, you know, because we need it, you know, like, even though you use that data to then, I don't know, maybe
Are you saying
illegally, legally stop and search somebody because, oh, hey, we just scanned your face real quick. We just realized you have a warrant out for your arrest. Oh, crazy, you know, but.
Are you saying that there's a bit of a hypocrisy there?
Oh man, that'd be I don't think there's any way that there would be.
Am I putting words in your mouth?
Yeah, you're putting words in my mouth right now. It's all allegations.
Okay.
There's no way that the police would have any kind of hypocrisy in it whatsoever. They've only ever protected the people and served the communities. They've never done anything wrong, and they're always right. And they've never invaded anybody's privacy. Never made a mistake. Never, I don't know, showed up at the wrong house. I can keep going if you want, but hey, you know, it's not why we're here. But that's like, anyways, yeah, the NFL was like, hey guys, and so then they're in talks about like whether or not, you know, I would assume that they want cops there more than they care to like run their faces. So I'm sure it's just gonna.
I thought when you sent it to me, I thought it was because like the cops were just like, I don't want people to know that I'm working the game for like an extra shift sort of thing. Like they were embarrassed to be working the football game.
That honestly, that is kind of a cop mentality where it's like, yeah, I'm a cop. I shouldn't have to work an extra gig. But like a lot of cops do it. Like there's
they get extra money, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, they get a fuck ton of money. We had a cop almost at every single fast food place that I worked. He would show up, you know, right before closing time just to make a little extra cash. Oh yeah, he's getting
piece
kicks.
Of shit.
Getting kicks on the side. You know,
you piece of shit.
Hey, as far as I know, the cops I hung out
nepotism,
with,
right?
Cops I hung out with, they were good. They were part of the good ones. You know, they were the good ones, the good apples.
Let's just move on to something else.
But yeah, man.
You know what irritates me?
What irritates? Everything. I don't know.
Good point, but cops specifically, right?
Oh, okay.
So like, there's a road that on the way from my house into to my in-laws, like, you know, it's that sort of like quasi highway, right?
Yeah.
And you know, there's always a state trooper. Like you get past the food city and like on the right hand side, there's always a state trooper like all the time, just sitting there chilling. This was, you know, Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day. Sorry, it's Labor Day weekend. I get those two confixed. Those two. Am I stroking?
You might be, man, and it's okay, honestly. I mean, it's not okay. You probably should seek a doctor, but hey,
right.
You know.
I get them confused. But anyways, he was just sitting there, and so like obviously everybody has to slam their brakes on because the speed limit's too slow on that road anyway. It's a fucking 2-lane highway both ways, and it's like 40 miles per hour. It's ridiculous.
It's a speed trap, yeah.
But like that in and of itself, like that right there, like it's a speed trap. Almost everybody that goes on that road, I would say 80% of the people that drive that road understand that like that's where they hang out. Okay, so, but like that doesn't do anything. Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything because people slam their brakes on, they slow down, and as soon as the cop's out of sight, what's everyone else going to do?
Speed right back up, yeah.
They're going to fucking speed right back up. So, like, what is the point? It's a gigantic fucking waste of time. That's what it is.
Looking for that one person they can pull over, I guess. I don't know.
but then you got good bros that are always going to like flash, they're going to hit their flashers for you to let you know that they're there. So, like,
yeah, honestly, and you should do that more. Everybody should do that more often. Like, yeah, let me know there's a cop there. So,
because it's like you could literally be doing anything else that is actually contributing to the safety of people, but instead you are
go patrol
on a holiday
Walmart
weekend
or something. I don't know, man.
Dude,
I don't
know. Patrol. You're literally not doing anything. Now I know I'm sure you're gonna get a lot of flack for it, and they'll go, no, fuck you. Like that. I also think, and I will die on this hill, that an undercover cop or an unmarked cop can't give you a speeding ticket.
That's shitty as hell. Yeah, for sure. I think that I take a step further. That sheriff car that I see driving around that has like, it's a white sheriff's car, but then it has like the translucent sheriff letters on top. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Like what is your point? What is it?
And it's a Mustang too, right?
It's a Charger,
or a Dodge Charger,
Charger,
whatever.
yeah.
Same
but
thing.
You know who I'm talking to right now. He's
car bro is gonna be like, "What do you mean it's a soup, dude, bro?"
They are. I mean, honestly, they are the same thing. It's fucking. They go fast. Boom. They go room. You know.
They're both American cars.
Yeah, they go. Oh man.
So, did you grow up going to the fair, carnivals and shit?
I think I've been to the fair like a few times. Yeah, I mean it wasn't like a
The
yearly
fair
thing
seems like your kind of thing, to be honest.
It's fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every time I went,
not
actually,
to profile you.
it's fun in concept, but then there's a lot of people there, and so I'm sure that I didn't enjoy the people aspect. But fried food, going on rides, yeah.
When I was in like middle school and high school, I also lived really close to the fairgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
I famously got into a fight in a church across from the fairgrounds. And it was always like we always started school, and then like it was like the second week of school was like the week of the fair. Like there's always God, like it's just so cringe when you go back and think about it. But like, there's all these like shows and competitions and like there's all the rides that are like assembled and disassembled, and you're just like, that's not safe, but we do it anyways. You always have that one like creepy clown that's like harassing the shit out of you because he wants you to.
He's 100% on a registry somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Because he obviously you pay for the balls to throw and knock him in the dunk tank or whatever. And funnel cakes. Like funnel cakes about the only reason I would go, but like you can get a funnel cake.
Deep fried anything basically, yeah.
Yeah, turkey legs, all that shit. So like I know that like Zoe would enjoy it, but like it's one of those things where I don't want to take her.
As I've gotten older, it's I have severe anxiety of all the rides there because
it's the rides thing, right?
I think it was recently here. Like there was a story about how like a ride collapsed or something of that nature. Wasn't it like really recently something happened?
And like it's just like unclean and like
and what kind of regulations do we have here? Like
there are none.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is like a
I don't know if you're aware of Boar's Head and planes that aren't checked.
Yeah, we have and it's like the idea that like here's just this this carnival operating in like international waters, so to speak, where it's like there's no laws, like they could just, as long as it works, nobody
I just
dies.
Put a caveat there that both the airfare issues and the meat packing issues all directly lead to one specific person, but we won't get to that.
Is it Bill Gates and his vaccines that he created to take over the population?
No, it's the person who. We're not even gonna. I'm
not gonna have to ask you off pod because I want to know. I want to know this conspiracy.
You don't know who it is? Who's responsible for all of it?
Former President-in-Chief George W. Bush.
Two after him. Anyways, the whole point of this.
It was Hillary Clinton.
He was never president.
She wasn't my book. She's my president. That's my president.
Oh God. Anyways, so like you go through those like, are they farmhouses? I don't know what they are. Like the ag halls, I guess.
Okay. I forgot where we're going. Yeah.
We're in in the fairgrounds, you have those big buildings, and like the big thing was always going to watch the little ducks do their little thing and go down the waterfall, and like you could adopt a duck and that sort of thing. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what's going on right now. I feel like I don't know what happened. I think I might have stroked out middle of the conversation. I realize now that we're talking about the fair still.
We're at the fair. Okay. Yes, we're at the fair. I'm saying those buildings. So ours were big, long green. They were really long green buildings. Okay. You walked in and like, that's where all the competitions were. Like, you had your Rube Goldberg competition. You had your, whatever. All right. So all this leads to something. The Kentucky State Fair happened a couple weeks ago, and you had to create a miniature replica of
a diorama
something.
Of sorts.
A diorama of some sort. I don't know what the exact rules and parameters were, but it sort of caught fire on Twitter and Reddit and everything else because they won whatever white is, right? This is in Louisville. Whatever the white ribbon is. Third place.
Is it like a participation trophy? I don't know the colors.
Well, I think blue is first, red is second, green is third.
I think red is third. I think white is second. That's what I would think.
We could look it up, but this is just sort of spitballing.
We don't do that here.
So they received an award, right, for their diorama. But if you look at it, anyone of our age group, and there's probably a really big gap of people, no pun intended, of people who know what this is.
It's a long list of people who know that this is.
So there's a door, and then there's a couch, a leather couch, a brown leather couch.
Black or brown? I think it's always black.
There's a cubicle with a computer chair and a computer monitor and a little handheld camcorder.
It's a very professional looking setting for somebody who's looking to get upstart their career.
So what I'm talking about is the casting couch, right? A Pornhub stable that it's. Don't look it up or do look it up, whatever. If you don't know what it is, anyways,
don't look it up on a company Wi-Fi for sure. So
or do it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, honestly, what are they going to say?
I'm not your supervisor.
Yeah.
And it's, anyways. So the piece, a miniature depiction of the casting couch, a popular pornography set, won third place. There you go. Whitest third.
Okay.
And according to the Instagram post, however, 12 hours later, the set was removed from the State Fair's gallery after the officials deemed it inappropriate.
Okay, so it was there for 12 hours, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. It feels like a long... I feel...
So this person...
Is it where they just leave
called it a basic office space, 1/12 scale.
I mean, it's an office space, so I don't feel like it's... But, okay. So he makes a diorama. He takes it there. Mm-hmm. Is this one of those things where like you have to leave it there the entire fair so people can see it? Because to me, it's like you show up, you win the competition, you take it home. Right,
but so it was made by a guy named Preston Poling, who goes
the real victim of the story, honestly.
Who goes by the name of Bearded Miniaturist on Instagram, and I'm sure he got a ton of new followers.
He's loaded now.
And so it just says completed this basic office space. If you know, you know. Come see it in person at my studio, whatever. And it was such a fun piece to make, and I wanted to enter it so that people could get excited about something. Some people know what it is, and they would have fun, and I've had such a positive response off this particular piece. He completed the piece in June. The set was a simple room that featured a couch and a desk with a computer monitor and recording camera. He entered it in the I Did It My Way category of the miniature contest. It was one of 4 pieces that he had submitted. Louisville Public Media reported that the fair allowed him to keep the award, but he did have to remove it from display.
My argument is like, okay, you removed it from display. What did you do with it? Give him his display back.
I mean, he probably just took it, right?
I mean, I hope so. They didn't say anything about it. I would assume, like, judging by the article and the way they made it sounded like he came back and they just took it away and they never gave it back. And they were like, we actually disposed of it in the back. We burn it because it's against our morals or something. I don't know.
Now, I'm not taking sides. I'm in this dude's camp, right? It was a harmless joke. It's not like he depicted actual like people banging.
Yeah, if had somebody like bent over the desk and like was like you could see like actual people getting railed or whatever, and it was like claymated dick and balls. Yeah, okay.
Or if it was just you take like 2 Barbie dolls, it's 1/12 scale, so Barbies are a little taller than that. But
that'd be huge. They'd be giants in that miniature.
But still. I mean, my Mortal Kombat Storm collectibles are 1/12 scale, so that's anyways.
That'd be a good crossover. Have one of them like busting through the wall, and then like the other one like doing the Scorpion get over here, but it's like coming through the hole in the wall. That'd be fucking dope, actually, honestly. So have like Katara sitting on the couch, acting like Katara. I don't know who's that's from. I think it's Avatar.
Not a character, but good job.
Katana. There we go. Katana is what I was thinking of. Yeah, she's like freaking out, like, oh, but it's Baraka, like at the desk or whatever. He's like giving her interview. They're all both startled. I think honestly, let's get with this guy and let's make it happen because that's fucking hilarious to me.
But like ultimately, I guess it's more of a hey, you get to keep the award, whatever, no harm, no foul. Ha ha ha. We get it. Wink wink. But again, it was subtle enough to like.
He won, and I'm assuming that he won.
Old ass people that saw it are not going to know,
and that's why he won. Honestly, that's how he won the award.
8-year-olds are not going to know. So it's that 12-year-old to 60-year-old range that knows.
And it's honestly, it's one of those things where as long as he gets the display back, I'm fine with it.
That's what you're concerned about for some reason.
Because it's like this dude spent his time and effort, and it looks really good. It looks like a legit like tiny couch. It looks like a legit tiny office. Like I can see the painstaking hours for a joke. Yeah, it was a joke. It was a bit that he was doing.
That's why, because you think it's funny.
Yeah, because it's like it's hilarious, but also like he spent time. Like I'm saying 16 hours at least working on this thing.
More than that, probably
spread out over like a week or two, and it's like you're gonna take that away and like what, destroy it? Why? Because it's uncouth. It's uncouth for a competition. You gave him a prize for it. He fucking crushed it. He tricked your asses, you know, and they were getting made fun of at the thing, and people were snickering as they were walking by, and then it took their like 17-year-old grandson to explain the fact that like, oh, this is a casting couch, grandma. Okay, let me just pull up some videos for you real quick. Hey, grandma.
Yeah, but then that's the whole, like, it's the implication part, because if you're 13 years old and you say something, then the question is like, how do you know, little Tommy? How do you know what this casting couch is? And it's like, little Johnny told me,
Yeah.
So then it becomes a whole, so you just don't say anything. So then word spreads like wildfire that, there's porn.
Yeah, you just snicker, man. Yeah, and it's almost like, oh wow, porn exists. It's like crazy, It's like,
people watch porn. Weird.
No.
No one does that.
No.
It's like if you pretend it doesn't exist, like racism, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's truth. That's true. Speaking truth right now.
That's how people view things, right?
Yeah.
You made a great choice by getting off TikTok. I am not on TikTok, and I still come across these fucking morons.
Thank you.
Do dumb fucking shit.
I did make a great choice. I did.
And I caught the tail end of it over the weekend. And apparently, now I'm going to speak from, I have not looked too in depth on it because I ultimately don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because if you fell for this and you get caught and you get got, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Yeah. Fuck around and find out. I don't know.
All those little like fucking cliches. So apparently, now, there was some sort of glitch, right? In quotations, if you have a Chase bank account, and you could
infinite money glitch.
Yeah. What is this, fucking GTA Online? Like, what the fuck? Anyways, and so I guess from what I gathered, you could write a check and like post date it, and then go to the ATM, withdraw a bunch of money.
You have to cash it first, and then withdraw the money before they bounce the check. It's the scam. But they
Jacob,
were claiming,
do you know what that's called?
It's called fraud.
That's called fucking fraud.
Yeah, it's like a big crime. That's not legal.
It's a huge crime. People go to prison for that shit.
And it's like, I can only imagine the people who, I'll say it, like me, who would have saw that rather, and were like, holy shit, babe, we could do this right now. Like, just write me a check for $1,000 right now. We could go do it. Let's try it out, And lo and behold, it didn't go well, and it was a scam, and it was a crime. So,
and then like people were like overdrawing $30,000 and shit, and it's just like, do you think that like it's just miraculously gonna appear in your account? Like I guess, I mean, we're talking about criminals here, so they don't think unilaterally, they don't think ahead, they think of in the moment sort of deals, right? And so this is like petty crime. This is not like robbing like a fucking casino sort of thing. This is essentially petty criminal sort of shit. But like, if you just take 5 minutes to, not even 5, and realize that like, oh no, this is, if it's too good to be true, Jacob, chances are it's what? Not true.
It feels like we've come full circle, right? We've finally reached that point in which people are truly not heeding their parents' advice. Even the ones that said it, aren't heeding their own advice of like not trusting everything you see on the internet. And it's like, hey, I understand, man. I'll play devil's advocate here. I'll be a little bit unhypocritical. I was part of the problem, I'd see shit on TikTok all the time and be like, dude, we could do this right now and some shit. And like, don't.
The American banking system, and probably just the banking system globally, is well structured, well thought out, well protected, all these things, to where like, if there was a glitch, you are not going to be able to take advantage of it. And even if you did take advantage of it,
how many stories have you heard about people like the bank accidentally deposits $1,000 in their bank account, and they go and like, oh fuck, and they go and spend it? What happens? Like, the cash gets taken out of your bank account, like whether it's in there or not. You know, it's like you.
And then like you can make the argument, well, they fucked up. Yes, but ultimately, who holds all your money?
And I'm making that argument every time, baby. I understand.
Yeah,
like,
but you're wrong, and you won't win in a court of law. So
I argued that I'm not wrong, but they're not right either, right? Because it's like it's
that's what it boils down to.
They did fuck up. They put the money in my account, right? They can't tell me that I cannot go and spend that money because they fucked up. It's like you take the hit, right? So now here I am defending the people doing it, but nonetheless, they didn't fuck up, and that's their fault. They take that out of their paycheck. You gave me the money. You can't take it back now. No takesy backsies. So,
and like, I wonder if all of these people, if it's one of those things where the punishment is, well, you're $38,000 in the red, bro. Sorry, claw your way out. Or if it's one of those, you're gonna have a little fucking felony charge for fraud. Like, how far does it go?
They become loan sharks at that point. It's like, hey, you better give me my money, or else somebody's gonna spend a little time sleeping with the fishes.
Just imagine you just do this on a Friday, and then come Tuesday, you're $38,000 in the red.
I'm already that much. I have so much debt. I don't want any more debt, please.
But like the fucked up thing about the banking system is you get punished for not having enough money in your account.
Yeah, what you gotta do? You gotta take money out of my account? Like, oh, go ahead, please. Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Like, I understand if you get an overdraft fee, but like.
Now I'll argue all day about how like fucked up the overdraft fee is to shit, because it's like, oh, okay, you're gonna charge me more money that I don't have because this check just bounced. Like, that's a scam. But whatever.
Checks, dude. I saw some lady writing a check the other day in the grocery store, and I'm just like,
we still use checks for daycare. That's what we use it for. So because I don't know why. I guess it's
join the fucking 2024, dude.
Yeah, what do you want to take all of our cash away too? You want to go ahead and just go all digital with it? Why don't we go ahead and sign up for cryptocurrency, No,
now you're just being a pain in the ass. Now.
I was gonna say I had a fucking other point, but
no, you didn't.
I lost it. Okay. Oh yeah, so I was gonna ask you. So in this situation, you got somebody watching TikTok, right? They see check fraud, but they think, oh, it is an infinite money glitch, and they believe it. They get sold hook, line, and sinker. Who's at fault? Do you blame
the fucking moron who fell for it?
But to be fair,
that's it. In the story.
But is there not some blame on the person who created the content in the first place? Right? It's like, if
you want to take responsibility for shit?
Hey, I'm just saying, if I am sold marijuana, right? Hello,
you chose to buy it.
I am here to buy some marijuana, please, right? And they sell me marijuana. Like, who is it? Is it all the blame is on the person buying it, or is it their supplier?
No one forced you to buy it.
No one forced you to sell it. But here you are.
The person who sold it didn't get in trouble.
Here you are committing a crime, selling me marijuana, sir. I'm taking you to jail.
Oh, so you're a fucking narc.
You show up. You're like, I just bought some marijuana from this guy. Please take him to jail. And they like handcuff you as well. So it's like, yeah. No, I would never be a narc. Snitches get stitches, and that's not what I'm about. I'm not about that life. I don't want to die. I would never narc on anybody. I am looking at the camera. Never gonna narc on anybody. Okay? So I just want to let all my friends out there know I'm not a snitch. Don't kill me, please.
You're laying it on a little too thick there. It makes you sound suspicious.
I'm not a snitch. Please don't kill me.
But you sound suspicious.
It's just how I am, man. I'm a suspicious individual.
Yeah, because you don't drop it after you say, "Look, I'm not a snitch." Okay, drop it.
Because then my brain immediately thinks,
because
if
you
I
keep going.
drop it, they are gonna think that they're gonna immediately suspect me of being a snitch.
No.
So
no, if you keep talking about it and keep bringing attention to it, people are trying to move the fuck on with the conversation. You're just like, bro, listen to me. I'm not going to tell on you. And then it becomes like
you said an awful lot like you're gonna tell somebody.
Yes. No. Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm not gonna tell anybody about this. Yeah.
But I don't believe you.
Can we sit there for a silence for a few seconds? I just want to let you know again, I'm not going to tell anybody about this, okay?
Right.
Like that bad thing that we just did back there, that criminal act that we just did, under the rug, baby.
Well, yeah, especially if you're part of it. But again,
that thing that we did.
There are circumstances in which you can blame both people.
Man,
and you're just like,
oh, you cut out for a second. I don't know
Me?
if it was my end or your end, but yeah, it's all good. It's fine. But
but the whole point is to answer your question. Like there are circumstances where both parties can be at fault, right?
yeah,
Actively seeking someone, hey, you have the marijuanas, and then you buy it. That's you're fully implicated. It's you and only you.
that's fair.
Hey, I'm going to rob a bank. Give me your money, please. It's not the bank's fault.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have all that money in one place, honestly. I mean, for being
Okay.
for playing devil's advocate.
Look at you. No, there's no devil's advocate. Could wrong.
I do think
There are times to be a devil's advocate. That ain't one of them.
Okay, I do think that there is some onus though on people making content that is harmful to people, right? That could end up because it could be
Jacob?
yes, this situation is very
fucking
obvious.
Former president of the United States at his entire platform.
Okay,
Of
what I'm
making
saying
misinformation
is that there
and
is
hate-filled nonsense,
there are times
and there are no repercussions.
there are times, right? Where like this time in particular, yes, we both you and I, buddy, we know that that's check fraud, right? We understand that that is check fraud. That's a crime.
Do you know that that's check fraud?
The way I see it, it's an infinite money glitch, but nonetheless, I'll say that it's check fraud.
There's no such thing as infinite money. I feel like I'm struggling to say words today.
All I'm saying, man, is that like these
tongue-tied?
billionaires, they have infinite money. I don't know where they get it from. They're probably just writing blank checks.
They earned it.
Oh yeah,
Pulled themselves up by their bootstraps.
buddy. Oh, buddy, you're walking down a dangerous path here. No, but I do think that like this is situation. Yes, it is very obvious it's a crime. You shouldn't do it. But in situations that are like the one story that I think of is there's a Reddit thread on this fun little activity for kids to do, and it was like you take it was like something about like you tape two duct tape or you duct tape two fucking
You can't
spoons.
talk either today. What's wrong with us?
I'm trying to think, but it's like you take two spoons, you duct tape them together, and you like shove it in a microwave, and it was like
Don't do that.
okay, yes, obviously don't do that. Okay, if you're listening to this, don't do that. Okay, kids.
Metal in a fucking microwave.
Yeah, but the whole point of it, I don't know if it was put in the microwave, but the whole point of it is
happened? What the fuck happened when we left high school in between college to becoming an adults that like everyone suddenly just became fucking dumb?
But it was directed at
And
little
everyone's
kids, is what it was.
so
Like the whole point.
goddamn gullible. Kids don't need to be on TikTok.
No,
there should
they
be
don't.
fucking age limit on TikTok.
There should. I agree with you there. Or at least parental controls. I know that they said that there's parental controls, but it's like, honestly, who's limited the kids?
Oh, now like I just like hate that I'm slowly evolving into this like person where
We can't have goddamn peanut butter without labels about how it's dangerous shit now. And we got fucking, we can't open a Pop-Tart without seeing on the back of the box, like, hey, don't shove this up your asshole. Like, yeah.
choking us. like exactly. It's just like
Oh, man.
part of oh my god, like part of
the void.
I do think that there are things that can and should be done to protect children and people who don't know any better.
Yeah.
But like the general populace, there are things that we seemingly go out of our way, and it's just like I every day I just feel like, common sense, right? If you just assume that 50% of the people have common sense and you're as smart as the average person,
I'm not.
like,
yeah.
well, I just like, I'm like, listen, I'm intelligent in certain aspects of things. Outside of that, I don't fucking know anything about anything. All right. I don't want to be, I don't want to claim to be a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Okay. That's for others to determine. I know I'm not a fucking moron, but there are days, and I shit you not, as arrogant as this sounds, that I'm like one of the smartest fucking people on earth. Like I just feel like it, even though I'm not. It's because I'm just surrounded by just like this conglomeration of fucking idiots all the time. And it just irritates me. You want to know why I'm irritated all the time? That's one of the reasons. Because I just don't understand.
You're right.
Why are you so dumb?
Is it Walter? Is it Walter in The Big Lebowski? Yeah, Walter. Yeah, you're Walter. Where it's just like
am I the only one paying attention to the fucking rules around here?
God damn, I fucking love that. I gotta watch that movie again soon.
I love The Big Lebowski.
God, it's so good. Holds up. But yes, to answer your point, yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm going to attribute it to the fact that we still have anti-vaxxers. They're still around. They created the flat earthers who It's just this constant.
Those people suck too.
Spiraling downhill because nobody can believe science anymore for some reason. I don't know. Fucking.
Let me make a stand on this. But my stand is I don't give a shit. Okay. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you are anti-vax. I don't give a shit if you're a flat earther. Believe what you want to believe, bro. There's fucking thousands of religions, and only one of them can be correct. The chances are that none of them are. Whatever, right? Believe what you want to believe. Where I draw the line is where these people want to like force that influence onto other people.
Yeah.
That's where I don't give a shit what you believe. You're allowed to believe whatever you can in anything, whether it's harmful or not harmful, whatever. You stay in your fucking lane and you believe in your nonsense.
I say keep it at home. Or hell, you could do it out in public, but it's like fuck off.
Get yourself a platform and then like just mass miscommunication and like mass misinformation everywhere. Like that's irresponsible. And like for a multitude of reasons, social media, the number one culprit, like it's just like like it's awful. And I've become everything. Like I'm that old man yelling at the clouds.
And like, so I know that I've been off of social media for a while. It's been actually quite a while. Like it's been a couple months here. And it's only until you sit down and actually think about it that it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm way less anxious now being off of social media, way less influence to buy things now. Obviously, I don't feel like as bombarded by ads and shit because obviously I'm not being, but it's just like, I just encourage everybody.
You're also not being targeted by the fucking Al Gore.
Al Gore, he can keep his rhythm, baby. He could play that smooth jazz to somebody else. But it's like, I say get off of it. Obviously, like if you own a business or like et cetera, like you have all these business reasons and obligations to be on there to like spread the word about something, et cetera. Like in your case, it's like, I understand it, but everybody else, like, come on, guys, let's go. Let's go touch some grass.
I mean, I actively try to use it less. I will catch myself during the day. I'll be like waiting for something to load at work. And I'm like, well, I'll just look at my phone and I'll put it down. But then I'm just like, I'm literally just like staring. It's like I don't want to just stare.
And like and like the first little bit of it, missing out was always the big thing. Like, oh fuck, you guys would jump in the group chat and be like, oh shit, this happened, this dropped, etc. And it's like, I do feel left out in that sense, but I've gotten a lot better with it now. Where it's just like I don't fucking care anymore. Like honestly, like you guys bring up memes and shit, like that one horse that was going around. I don't know what the fuck this horse was, but somebody posted a meme of that scary carnival ride horse or some shit, and I was just like, gotta be honest with you guys, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And honestly, everything just, I feel like like everything looks stupid to me now. Like I'm just like,
because everything is stupid. Again, like if it wasn't
stupid, it's like,
if it wasn't for fucking Kickstarter promotion purposes, comic book purposes, like I would, and like I've been so just tempted just to be like fuck it. But like over the course of the last couple of weeks, like I've just reached out and talked to a bunch of potential artists for like future collaborations, and it's like I never would have found these people if it wasn't for like the few times the algorithm works and pushes somebody my way.
And that's the thing, there is those possibilities that happens, but it's like,
right, there is, the dream is always like when I went to Canada, like I didn't have my phone a lot, like I was like it was like left in the cabin sort of thing. Or like Christina would bring hers because she would take pictures and shit, but like I was just didn't have the desire. Like even when I go on vacation, when I go to Aruba, like I'm not. It's so weird. I guess just because it's like a different mindset. Where you're at home, you've got the comfort, you're doing all those things. It's like, well, whatever. I'm taking a shit. Let me look at the phone instead of reading the back of the shampoo bottle. But there is something, and talking about getting older, I will see new neighborhoods that pop up. Like there's a new neighborhood close to my house. They built the neighborhood and then they built a brand new Dollar General at the entrance. And then on the left side of the Dollar General is another fucking, as we call them, the Smith built cookie cutter homes. Like, and then I'm just like, I would not want to live in a neighborhood that is fronted by a Dollar General. You know what I mean? And like, it would be convenient. That's
convenience, baby. That's convenience, the highest order right there.
Put it across the street, man, not at the neighborhood entrance. Like you literally have to go in the Dollar General parking lot to get to the entrance of this subdivision.
That's rough. I mean, like,
right?
It's okay. We shop at Dollar General all the time. Love it.
I have no problem with Dollar General.
No problem with Dollar General. But it is like, it's the aesthetic of having to drive through a company parking lot to
get to your fucking house.
It feels almost like not even the aesthetics of like, oh, it's a Dollar General. It feels more so just like corporate dystopia, where it's like,
dude, it's
we're so
awful.
Next thing you know, you got McDonald's down the street who's like blocking the other entrance. You know,
your yard is like, you have no yards here, right? In these new neighborhoods that are being built here, there's no yards whatsoever. And
but raise a family, have kids. You know, go ahead. Like, where you gonna play? You know,
my whole like diatribe there is that I have, in a roundabout way, I've always sort of fancied myself as a city person. Like, I prefer the city as opposed to like the fucking country.
Yeah.
But I don't want to live in a downtown. Like, I don't want to live in a metroplex. Like, I don't want to, like, I want to be able to be like far enough away, 15, 20 minutes from downtown. Like, I can go and do shit, enjoy the city shit, but I don't want to live there. I don't want to deal with the traffic there. I want to live on the outskirts, right? But as I've gotten older, and like it really kicked into gear, like when I went to Canada and I saw like this small quaint town that's just like unbothered by everything,
the countryside and the sunshine,
and I'm just like, there are people who, you know, they're 25 minutes from a grocery store. I don't want to do that. I know Ben lives out in the fucking middle of nowhere out in California somewhere. I can't do that, but that like appeal, that desire. I know, just like message in Discord. I know, but there's like, I get it. I get it. Like having the big yard and being away from your neighbors and being able to go out on your back porch and fucking piss off your back. I get it. I do. I understand all of that.
Yeah, it is kind of.
There is also something too. Like you think, well, man, like, you know, I'm on a ship and a shipwreck and I fucking end up in a deserted island, which like, it's crazy that there are any deserted islands left. There's
got to be plenty
on this planet. I would assume, you know, there's all sorts of like little islands and like nooks and stuff in the ocean. I mean, the ocean's a big fucking place.
It's a scary place.
It's so scary. But you think, oh, you know, those conversations, what are the 3 things you would take if you could pick any 3 things? What would the 3 things you would take on a desert island by yourself? And it's just like, deodorant,
fucking
toothbrush.
Honestly, fucking nothing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to make everything anyway. It's like, just go ahead and start from scratch. You know.
I feel like you say an iPad, but then like you can't charge it.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with an iPad? Like, what
you can read? You can read books.
I'd break it open, use the battery to start a fire. So
there you go. Right.
Although I think it would explode because I think lithium explodes.
You would certainly survive out in the wilderness probably longer than I would. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd fucking die from falling out of a tree doing some dumb shit trying to like.
I think
wood.
yes, 100%. You are more well built and well prepared. And were you in Boy Scouts?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you seem like a Boy Scouts kind of guy. Anyways,
I guess I don't know.
You like being outside. You like being.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas like I don't. You know, I'm like, I don't like, I get, my hands get dirty and I get icky about it.
I would definitely stay on the beach though, because that's the thing, man. I would be close enough to the shore. Yeah, I don't think I can't sleep I couldn't sleep in the actual like woods because jaguars or something are gonna get me for sure.
Well, I don't know if there's jaguars on it.
Spiders. I don't know. But then again, like, do things crawl on the beach too? I don't want to fucking die.
Crabs.
Yeah, I mean, I get eaten alive by crabs or mites or some shit.
You know, whatever. Anyways, all that to say is like, there was an article that came out. All right. Man stranded on desert island asks the rescue team for a couple more weeks.
I mean, honestly, it sounds like he struck gold. He was like, I don't know how this happened.
He's autistic.
Okay. I mean, I don't feel like that's any kind of qualifier, but hey.
Well, they're leading. I left the one part out. So an autistic man who became stranded on a desert island after a shipwreck has asked the search and rescue team who found him if they wouldn't mind fucking off again.
Okay, that's
reports have
fuck that
confirmed.
guy. That guy, get him a beer for sure, dude. That's fucking
Concerns have been growing for Eddie Albington, 45, ever since he was the only member of his crew not recovered within hours of the wreckage. But despite his family's fears, Albington reportedly is not just surviving, but he is thriving.
baby. I love this for him.
Rescue worker Graham Hart, 32, said he was looking a little thin, but otherwise he seemed in weirdly good spirits for someone who'd been isolated from society with seemingly no hope of return.
See, this is the kind of thing where it's like, obviously get documentation of him saying this, but it's like, heed his words. Like, this dude does not want to be saved. Like, he is 45 years old. I get that.
He's seen some shit.
If he is autistic or not, whatever. I feel like autism is one of those things where like we're kind of getting to the point where you're just another human being. Like, everybody's on the spectrum to some end or whatever. But it seems like he's just a fucking chill ass dude. And he's like, I say, leave him alone. I say, he's found his island. He's thriving. He's doing fine. He's got a little bit of a tan. He's lost some weight. He's feeling good. He's got coconuts for dumbbells. He's okay, dude. Leave him alone. You know?
We usually get a hero's welcome, Hart explained. But when Mr. Albington saw us, he responded, "Oh, for fuck's sake!"
He hadn't
even drawn a face on the ball like Tom Hanks. He apparently didn't want to make small talk with us either. Albington commented, "Look, could you lads just pretend you never saw me and come back in, let's say, a fortnight, preferably after my next appraisal and when my wife's got someone else to mow the lawn?"
I mean, this is just like the chillest, fucking raddest guy. Where he's what do you, as a rescue worker, like, what do you have to like save him? Did they have to like take it? Because honestly, like, if
it's probably the first time they've ever been rejected,
and that's like honestly kind of funny to me for them to be put in their place when they show up, like, because I mean, not saying
I don't know if it's put in their place. They're doing the right thing.
I love search and rescue people, man. I'm glad you guys are finding people, saving people. It's great, but just the idea of like this guy, he's like, oh shit, I found him, let's go, dude, I'm gonna be fucking a hero. And he gets there and he's like, oh come on, fuck off, you know. It's just like it just completely rejects him. And like, God, that's funny to me. But it's just, leave this guy alone. Let him have the island, you know. This is his island now. He's survived. He's thriving.
Sure there's some, yeah. I mean, I guess.
But now his wife's gonna hear about it, and she's gonna be very upset at the fact that like he didn't want to come back home immediately. Like, yeah, he's obviously now he's got a reason not to go home, because like how much of an earful is he gonna get when he gets home? You know, it's like, oh,
we were worried sick about you. Fuck off.
Fuck off. Just let me chill here, dude. He's got a little crab friend now. Like, what's he?
Yeah, but it could be worse though. He could be just like out there swimming, you know, and then a fucking oarfish shows up and is trying to make pals.
Arguably one of the most terrifying fish to ever come across. Maybe a shark, but that's not a fish, is it? I don't know. Is a shark a fish? I don't know. I'm not looking it up, but yeah, man. Fucking.
What's so scary about an oarfish? I just know it's really fucking long. Right?
They are 12 feet long. They swim vertically in the water, right? Straight up and down. They're straight up and down. Most of the times that you see them, I think California said this is the 20th time that it's happened in California out of like the decades of records they have or whatever. So it's very rare to see them, but anytime that you do, they're just straight up and down. They look fucking terrifying. They're 12 feet long. They're like, I think they're like anywhere from like a foot to 2 feet wide, I guess, because they're not really thick. They got a lot of width, but they don't have a lot of mass. So little pencil dick piece of shit. They're really cool though. Don't get me wrong, but these were the same creatures that whenever our forefathers and their forefathers were coming across the Great Blue over from Britain, I'm sure not doing anything bad, they would see these guys, and that's what then turned into like sea monsters. Like, this was like one of the oarfish was, I think, historically speaking, it was like alleged that the oarfish was kind of the spark for these sea monster tales that fishermen would say, like, oh, it was 12 feet long and it was like coming out of the water, it was gonna bite our dicks off or something. I don't know what they say, but they're really fucking giant ass fish. They're terrifying, and if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of like seen as a bad omen for them to wash up dead on a shore. So not great.
Yeah, and if they do, don't like go and like hang out with it,
take selfies with it and shit. Yeah,
dude. Like, there's this picture, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah, it's the same people that spread bubonic plague in the fucking 21st century because they find a dead animal. They're like, fuck yeah, dude, let's take a picture
It's the same fucking people who like open a sarcophagus and then get in it, and they're like, "Oh, it's so funny."
They're gonna love this. It's gonna have so many likes. Yeah.
Don't. Just like don't.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Can we not crack open the black sarcophagus for science, please? Because like I think that every movie we've ever watched has always been like I don't know. It's been a bad thing when they crack it open and the plague spreads over the lands and kills everybody.
So do we know why they're so rare?
They
live like in the super deep.
Oh yeah, they're one of those fish that like the only time that you see them coming up is like I forget the reason, but I think it's like because they
Mating.
either like mate. I think it's because they can't find food and or like something to do with the temperatures of water. But they're generally like the bottom dwellers. Like you don't see them hardly at all.
Dude, have you ever heard, like looked into like moray eels and how
Wes like a long time ago, dude. This is like I feel bad because it's back when I used to do weekly weirds. I need to get back to eventually. I don't know, but he sent me a story about the fact that like they have no idea like where moray eels come from and like how they
reproduce.
Yeah, like the dinosaurs, dude. They don't know how they fuck.
It's like there's like 4 phases, I think, is like what they go through, and then like they all like leave, and then like if you see a grown one, like they go like I'm misremembering and I don't know everything. I just know that like I vaguely saw a thing where they don't know how they reproduce. They don't know where they go. They're only found in like one specific part of the ocean.
The Marianas Trench is a massive chasm. Like imagine they just all fucking go down there. But that's also thinking about a conglomerate of any creature really. Like hell, like a flock of birds. If all birds like just hung out in one flock and like took off somewhere, talk about how scary that would look. Like if you just see like a giant school of moray eels like heading to their fuck place. I guess their fuck palace. And they're like get out of its way, and like they pass by you and like you're just fried from all I guess are moray eels the electric ones? Yeah, they fry you to death. Yeah,
they're fucking they're like, you want to talk about creepy to look at.
Oh yeah, man. They like that's the one thing. Ariel, they fucking nailed the moray eels. That's for sure. Because those things look horrible.
It's like they ripped out like Medusa's like her hair and like they just like threw them in the ocean. Like
hey,
that's
you create lore right now, man. You know.
Yeah. The ocean is scary.
Yeah.
But you know what else is equally as scary?
Probably someplace that we don't know much about either.
Well, space.
Yeah, man. Space is very scary.
There's this rumor going around that there are these astronauts up in space that are definitely not stuck there.
Definitely not stuck. Yeah.
And they're definitely just hanging out. They're just like the guy on the desert island. They just don't want to go home.
Yeah. They got their obligations they don't want to go back to. So.
Yeah, they just don't. They don't want to mow the yard. They don't want to do all these things.
Yeah.
Anyways, so in a weird bit of news, they're hearing strange noises outside of their spacecraft.
Yeah.
And like not only is being stuck in space, not stuck in space.
Sorry. Yeah. You got to be careful there.
Is terrifying in itself, but then you start hearing noises and it's like, am I going crazy? Am I like losing my shit? Then like what makes it all that much more creepier is they're seemingly on a call with NASA and they're talking back and forth, and they're like, because obviously I fell for it. I was like, oh, let me listen to this. This is going to be nothing, right? As they always are.
Yeah.
And then you're listening, they're going back and forth, and it's like, then they're like, did you hear that? Or, whatever. And it's like, you don't hear anything. And they're like, no, we're not hearing anything. And then you just hear what sounds like this fucking pulsating sound. It's like, woo, 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 woo,
yeah, not
woo,
something I want to hear on a giant spaceship. Yeah.
And then, but like the fucked up part is like everybody heard it.
Yeah.
The people on the other end heard it. You can hear it through the recording. And it's just like, is this thing just going to implode like the fucking millionaire submarine in the bottom of the ocean?
Honestly.
You know what I mean?
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's...
We've all seen Alien. We know how it works.
And it's, man, I just don't even know, dude.
Xenomorphs hanging out there. Just...
You're hanging out in space. You're not stuck, but you can't go back home. And it's like you start hearing what sounds like the ship's not doing well. It's not something I want to hear in like the vacuum of space where like the tiniest of hole. I don't. honestly. I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna stay up until this thing resolves itself. But they said that it was. They said
it's not gonna resolve it. It's like the hood of your car. It's gonna pop back in place.
Yeah, you just gotta. It's gotta heat up a little bit. So once the sun hits us tomorrow, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, space is kind of cold.
It's one of those things where I don't know, man. You know, it's scary and I don't like it. And they said that it was. That's what I was trying to think of. They said that it was speaker feedback is what they were calling it.
Not what it is.
And okay, but that's what the NASA is saying it is. And it's like NASA would never lie, right?
But but why if like no one's gonna believe that it's just speaker feedback? No one believes that. I mean, again, I say that there are people who think that there's a money glitch at Chase. So like people do believe it, I guess.
The thing is like we probably are the marks too here because it probably was just speaker feedback. But at the same time, it's like.
But then why release it? It's not like it wasn't leaked.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was like just here you go.
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, okay, say it is aliens. Do you think they're really going to tell us that it's aliens?
I don't think it's aliens. I mean, there was a whole thing, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, somewhere in California or Mexico or somewhere, or Argentina or somewhere.
Send me this stuff when you hear about it, because I
just don't give a shit.
I'm not in the know anymore, so I need.
I don't know. It was like this whole there was like a disc. It was like it was going around. It's like 3:00 in the morning with shitty video. It was whatever.
It's like. Buddy, with as many people as iPhones telling us they're buying iPhones, Apple's telling us, the iPhones.
That's my argument for everything.
You're telling me you can't break out even the 14, has a pretty decent camera. The Pixel Pro. I mean, come on. Nobody's got one of those laying around.
We've been through enough shit as a generation in the last 10 years, and we've seen so many videos where literal shootings happen and people still have their phones up. So I feel like if aliens invade, people are not going to not turn their video over
and it's just
camera on. They're not going to be everyone's going to be like, oh shit.
It's like one of those things where why does everybody have a Motorola Razr as soon as an alien shows up? It's like, come on, guys.
Because it's not real.
The people, the Congress is telling us everybody's glued to their phones. Like, then where's the footage at? Everybody's got, they don't know how to work a camera. All of a sudden they have to stabilize the footage. Come on, guys, get the shot.
Yeah, but then it doesn't. Then they can't do it. You've got all these amateur filmmakers out here. Come on, dude. I've seen some really good stuff on YouTube. That's
Why is it always the fake stuff that's so high quality? I feel like it honestly could make you go crazy and make you think it is a huge disinformation campaign where it's the only good shit that you see is all fake and all the bad shit you see is obviously real, and the government has went in there and they've de-resed it on purpose because they don't want you to know the truth. They don't want you to know the half of it. So,
speaking of the truth, I'm planning on launching a Kickstarter soon.
Yeah, I guess. Fucking sorry, I'm still mad about the UFO thing, but Kickstarter.
Issue 2, Polar Destroyer Kickstarter launching soon. I don't have an exact date, but within the next 2 weeks, hopefully.
That was the sound that they make on the spaceship. That's what they heard. You nailed it. Yeah, you nailed it. You did perfect. Yeah. So PD2, PD issue number 2 coming soon to a Kickstarter near you. It's gonna be sick. If you can, go on Kickstarter, look up Polar Destroyer issue number 2, and go ahead and save it so that way you get notified as soon as it drops. It also helps push the numbers.
Issue 1 and 2, yeah.
It'll help push the numbers too, and that way more people will see it because this is kind of important to us / Alex. So me more
by
important.
proxy you. Yeah. Because if it fails, you'll be.
It's my fault, clearly.
You'll never hear the end of it. But yeah, there's been a lot of. It's so crazy how much just changed. And maybe this was the case the first time around too. I just didn't really pay that much attention to the pre-launch because I was more focused on just doing the thing.
Actually getting it, to this.
But the pre-launch and the followers, the pre-launch numbers ultimately doesn't necessarily matter because you can still back it. Even you can't back it, but it just helps push it up. Obviously, it looks better. The more people that are on the pre-launch, the more people are excited, hyped for it, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's the less people that I then have to turn around and tell to back it because you will receive a notification when it goes live. I've not nailed down everything as far as the numbers and everything, but I'm going cheap Not cheap as like cheap as like I'm going asking for 1,000 less this time.
He's putting money in your pockets, folks. Okay.
No, I'm not. But like the lowest tier is gonna be $6 for a digital. $6 for a digital copy of issue 2. $10 for digital 1 and 2.
And that's a steal, baby. That's what we call a deal. Okay.
And I've got 3 fantastic artists. You've already heard from one of them a couple weeks ago.
And we even dropped honestly, if you don't like that cover, then you can fuck off and never listen to the podcast again. Because like that fucking awesome ass cover.
Jacob's got a little man crush on Frederick.
Frederick is great, man. I just think, his art, if he could just, I don't know, draw me like one of his French girls in Titanic.
Yeah.
I mean,
the big pushing gimmick this time around is for copyright purposes, I cannot call it a fatality, but choose a fatality, choose a kill, right? Introducing a character that is a fucking full-blown badass and that will meet its ultimate demise at the hands of Jack. And you, as the reader and financier, will get to participate in a vote. Majority rules. No funny business. I don't get to vote. And the reader gets to. It'll be narrowed down to 4. Also, if you do that, you get to see the character first. You get to see sketches and stuff like that. So that's the big driving force this time around. Because a lot of people will do like, pledge $200, we'll draw you in. Well, I can't do that. Doesn't make sense from the universe standpoint. And I just wanted to do something
into an anthropomorphic animal based off of their likeness.
I wanted to do something different. Again, it's like
that's fair,
not
yeah.
Everyone, not everyone, but like the common thing is I'll draw you in the book. Okay, well, you get to pick how this thing dies, right?
Yeah, you get to actively craft the lore of this comic. So, which is, I think,
to a certain extent,
funny.
yes. Like it'll be narrowed down to 4 that you will receive later on down the line. We'll probably do like little sketches of like to give an example, and that's towards the end of the book. So like, I also need like this thing to fund so I can keep going. I was telling you earlier, like the worst part would be to be this, to be an issue and a third in, and then like I got my feet in the mud, like we're in here, we're down in the dirty now, and then like it just stops.
I mean,
that would be so sad.
But that'll also just be the lifestyle of like oh my god, dude, fucking, I'm stroking out so hard. Life cycle of Kickstarter, baby. That's like, and that's,
yeah, but I'm stubborn as fuck though.
Hey, and that's what we rebrand it. We come back even harder the second time. You're like a fucking weed. You can't get killed, bro. You just keep coming back. You're coming back.
I'm kudzu,
baby. And you can't kill kudzu unless it's a kudzu beetle. But even the kudzu beetle can't hold you back because they can't eat enough of you. I don't know. Just fucking, I don't know, man.